conditioning on a 1984 Vanigan. I believe this one deserved a full shot of the vehicle since it's an old classic VW. It's not even that old, 1984. I mean, that's ancient, but it's not like the 1960s Volkswagens. So there's a history on this one. Let's go back a couple years. This was brought up to my attention by a mechanical shop that was helping a guy do a custom install, putting like a Subaru compressor in place of something on there. He did his own hoses, okay, but if you notice, there's only one fitting. There is no high side port on this whole vehicle, so there's no high side rating. So you got the hoses going 5 miles all the way up to the front of the vehicle. He put in one of those universal condensers in there, and he put a high efficiency one. That was good. He did good. I wish he could have found a bigger one. I mean, bigger is always better, especially on this vehicle, but he did only put in a front system. He may have problems now because he went somewhere, it's been a couple years, and he had them charge it, and they discharged and recharged. They put 3 pounds in. Now listen to that, 3 pounds. They put 3 pounds in the single AC little front system. This is a big system originally. So he made some custom fittings. You could see his fittings on the hoses there, those arrow quipped or whatever they are, those line crimp ones there. You know, that was good. He stuck the receiver dryer back where you could never see it, touch it, feel it. You can't see the sight glass. It's totally out of sight. That was not a nice thing. So the deal was, it came in. I was told there was a fan problem too. He got the fan working. There was a ground bad. So started this up, and immediately no high side, so I just used my fingers. I came to the back by the compressor, burning hot. Okay, it was like 1 second hot. Came up here to the condenser, on the inlet of the condenser, burning hot. It was just burning hot. Come down here, right there, you could see the outlet of the condenser. So this is where temperatures come in good. I went old school and used my fingers, and I got my fingers up there and I grabbed that fitting. Nothing. The temperature coming out of the condenser was no different than this bar. And as you can see, we got fog out there. We got some clear skies. It's real breezy and windy. It's only about 64 degrees right now. And the temperature of this bar and the temperature with the air conditioning running of that outlet was no different than room temperature, if not cooler. So, is it low? And after they recharged it, it went low? Or is there something else wrong? So I just did a recovery. They did say they put in 3 pounds, and I pulled out 3 pounds. So they told the truth. They did put 3 pounds in a system. OEM factory only had 2 pounds 10 ounces. So they guessed at 3 pounds, and originally this only had 2 pounds 10 ounces originally. And on top of that, originally this was R12. It's converted to R134 when he put this system in. When you go to 134, you're going to use less refrigerant than R12. So they put in more refrigerant than even the R12 called for. So they're way over. And that's why when I started this up and immediately put my fingers right here on the high side discharge line, it was burning hot immediately. There was some pressure going on there. So now it had a full system, over full system, but I had chilling going on in the condenser. Do I have piston ring material in the condenser? Plugging up the condenser, it goes in at say 190 degrees, but comes out at 70 degrees at the bottom of the condenser. So those guys who did that recharge may have just roasted this guy's compressor. Spins nice and free. I've taken apart compressors that were bad, that had no piston ring material left on them. It was all gone. The pistons were in pretty good shape, the cylinder bores were in shape, the reed valves were in good shape, but when I split the case and take it all apart, the piston ring material literally dissolved and shaved off, went outside of the discharge tube, discharge went all the way up and plugged the condenser. But there's basically mechanically nothing wrong with the compressor. It just had a low high side, and an unusually low high side because it had no more piston ring material. I have seen this, and this will get some of you guys. But so now, unfortunately, I'm, as a favor, and I'm going to do this because it doesn't take me long to recover and recharge. This was a virgin tank. It was under a vacuum. It was drawn down to, like, you know, 50 microns. So it was definitely an empty tank, and it now has 3 pounds in it. I'm gonna fill it back up anyway because it only takes me like 60 seconds to fill it back up. And when I recover it out, this, because I know it's not gonna work, but I'm doing 100% sure I'm gonna fill it back up properly to the proper amount. Oh, and he had a couple percent of air mixed in with his refrigerant. You know, these guys who like to have these big recycling recovery machines that are just so great, and they do a good job at removing the air out of the system. Bullshit. And they have no filter dryers on them that they've changed in many years. They have their original filter dryer, so you're just freaking loaded with moisture because the manufacturer of recovery and recycling machines took off the little sight glass that had the moisture indicator off of it. That was a real sleazy, slimy thing they did. I'm talking to you, what Mayo and Wayo and freaking Robinair and all the other manufacturers who followed suit. You left that little 50-cent piece item off your machines that could tell you when you're really saturated with moisture. Low life SOB piece of shit salesmen and marketing teams. But that's another story. So let's get to this. I'll get back, fill it up, and let you see what the results are. Remember, we only have a low side. I'm doing everything through the low side.